let's see. From Bethesda Softworks, all will be revealed. Let me hide the chat. It's annoying. Let's see what they cooked up with, because Oblivion is coming. Let's see. Bethesda Game Studios and Xbox. Xbox being the previous one. Virtuous, I guess that's the studio that made the remaster. Violence, blood and gore, sexual themes.
They would take it to the tower. They're behind us. This ends here.
Okay. That looks alright.
You hold our
My wife in my
future in
house.
your
Mobile
hands.
data is limited 5G. Around 700 megabits per second mobile data. 100 game takes
Take
around
with
1
you
hour.
my blessings
Nice.
and the hope of the Empire.
Disclaimer, I never played Oblivion, so I don't
Find
know about
him
this.
And close shut
I don't know
the
how relevant
drawers
this is.
of Oblivion.
There you go. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Let's see. Granted, this is not the Skyblivion mod. This is apparently an Unreal Engine remaster. Let's see what Bethesda...
Here we are, 20 years later.
Jesus Christ, Todd. Oh, look! That's Skyrim!
When
Living in Oblivion.
you think about the Elder Scrolls,
Put on...
to us it goes beyond game franchise.
Yeah, it's the DNA of Bethesda Game Studios.
Obviously, we're working on...
Good. Come on, dude. Why you gotta start it that way? Do you have any idea how much shit I can give you for that statement alone? Of course you are beyond franchises. You're a buggy mess. Every single time. Okay, let's just let them
the
say
6th
things.
chapter here. But what's great about the Elder Scrolls is being able to look back at all of the chapters. Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, Daggerfall, Arena, and each of them try to define role-playing games and open-world games for
Keyword
their
is
generation.
try.
Fans
Try.
got so connected with the worlds we've made and these stories we're telling, and it's really amazing.
Oblivion
To be
was
fair-
a real defining moment in the series and for how we
What a
make
fucking
games
nerd.
as a studio.
Yep, because after that you made the same game over and over,
I think
quite
when
literally.
it comes to a remaster, we want people to feel the way they did then, but it's still a game of its time. You want to keep those bones in place. You want
Why you roast him
some
so
of that-
bad? Why do I roast him so bad? It is because I could consider myself a Bethesda hater now. I used to love Skyrim. I loved Skyrim so much, dude. I bought the Elder Scrolls Anthology. I bought the Switch version. I bought Skyrim, I think 5 out of the 7 times, or like 3 or 4 times out of the 7 times they re-released it. Until I came to the realization, Bethesda doesn't make good games. Bethesda makes a modding platform so that the players can make the games good for them. And it all came to, it all became extremely evident with, what's the space one? What's the space one called? The one no one liked? Because it's so shit and bland. Starfield, thank you. It all became very apparent with Starfield. So, yeah, no. You know how people accuse companies of making the same game over and over? You know how everybody accuses EA that FIFA is the same game every year with a different label? These guys literally did the same game for for over 10 years. Skyrim came out 2011, I think. When did Skyrim come out? Skyrim released in 2011. I remember because I got it. I remember playing it when it came out. And since then, they have re-released the same game with the same basic bugs, the same broken builds every time. How many times is it now? 6? Because they released the game, then they released the Legendary Edition, which came with the DLCs, which, fair enough, is like Game of the Year. You're allowed to do that. Then the Anthology that came with the other 4 games, which, okay, collectors kind of thing. I have one. It's physical. Okay, fine. VR. Special Edition, which is for, Windows 64-bit. New version for the new consoles. Switch version. So we had like 7, 8, 9, 10 re-releases of the exact same game over the course of, what, 13 years? The exact same game. Like, it's not even... Because I have played FIFA. I can tell you the difference between FIFA 19, FIFA 21. I can tell you what the changes are between those. I used to skip years in FIFA, and I would get the game every other year, so that way you can actually notice the difference in the engine. And I can actually tell you what the changes are. The thing is, because the core mechanic is still the same, it's very difficult to tell if you play it year by year. But if you skip, you can actually see what the difference is. With Bethesda, the difference is that they made one VR. Okay, they adapted it to VR. Everything is the same. Everything else is the same. They then made it 60 frames per second native. And, what's it called? 64-bit version. And that's it. Engot Enjoyer, welcome to today. How you doing? Hope you got a new anniversary edition for 15-year anniversary. I don't. I mean, they probably are gonna, but... Modders made Starfield into Star Wars. Very funny. And that's the thing, right? Because modders make everything so cool. But it's because of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout that the modding community is the way it is right now. Because the modding community took Skyrim, which... Back then, it was a revolutionary game, and it turns out that it had a lot of cracks. And they turned that into an incredible experience. I remember modding that game so much. I remember the Skyrim Redone mod, the Falskar mod, the Wormstooth mod, these total conversions. Hell, Enderall, all of these different ones. It's completely wild how good these were. And eventually I came to the realization, holy shit, Bethesda released a good game engine. No wonder why Obsidian was able to make such a good game with Fallout, and then they failed with Avowed, because Bethesda gave them a good engine, a good blueprint, overall landscape. The world of Skyrim is fairly bland, but it gives you plenty of room to add to it. And that's when I realized the modders make everything. Come on, welcome to today. How you doing? It's not the same though. It's prettier and lazier. Yes. Can you tell me what's the difference between GTA 5 Legacy and GTA 5 Enhanced? I didn't play those, so I have no idea. Less soul every time. Yep. Anyway, let's continue.
Old charm.
Rant over.
Coming back to Oblivion
Welcome,
now,
Kevin. We're going to watch
with
that
this
later.
Tremendous visual update is absolutely amazing. It's the world I remember, but better.
There's so much there, both for the Elder Scrolls world and also this evolution of our games, I think is really, really important for people to take a look back at.
But Bethesda
Looking
has been
back
important, but
and
I still have
seeing
my
everything
opinions.
we've accomplished in the past 20 years and working with these people, like it's
In
really
the past
special.
20 years, 12 of that was
Yeah,
just
there are still
Skyrim.
quite a few people that I've worked with for that long, and it sort of gave me the warm fuzzies.
Good for them. Like,
God,
honestly, good
it's
for
been
them.
20
They stayed
years?
employed, so. 20 years since
I think
Oblivion.
the thing that gets me the most is the music. Like, when you hear that music at the main menu, there's just like...
Yeah. Elder Scrolls music, top
There's this,
notch.
like,
Absolutely, hands down.
flood of
Incredible
nostalgia.
music.
Oblivion is the beginning of who I am as a
I thought she was gonna say the
individual,
end,
as a
but-
game developer. It all starts with it.
That's not healthy.
I don't even think it
But then again-
took me till release to realize how big this was.
People loved it. Like, they loved it.
Why are they getting the, like, very evidently
Such a
unhealthy
key
people on the same
moment
table?
in our history of making games and the evolution
That was
of how
mean,
we
but-
build these worlds and having players be able to come back and experience that is really
Players,
amazing.
yeah, the
We had
players
that
want
really
the modding
special
platform,
moment
dude.
of
What are you
coming
talking
out
about?
into the world for the first time, what that
Okay.
meant to this game.
Every time we think about Oblivion, it's, what if we could give that moment to everybody again?
Skyblivion has been doing that. Skyblivion has been working on that, and it will be inevitably better than anything you could ever possibly hope to cook up.
I was born
I am not
87
apologizing.
years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor.
Original footage.
But
Thank you
all
for
these
labeling it. I
years,
wouldn't have been able to tell,
I've
considering
never
that it's
been
Bethesda.
the ruler of my own dreams. I
Less
have
and less
seen
soul
the
every
gates of
title, yeah.
Oblivion, the beyond which no waking eye may see.
Remastered footage. Yeah, thank you for labeling it. I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. Wait, this is the remastered. This is the remastered footage. What the fuck? Really?
Whether you're reliving these moments or experiencing them for the first time, the world of Oblivion Remastered immediately looks and feels incredible.
That looks kind of nice, yeah. Why didn't you
decided
do
to
those shots
remaster
first?
Oblivion, we were really picky about finding the right partner. From the very beginning of this project, we had one rule. We weren't going to do this if we weren't going to be able to do it right. Our partners We weren't going to do this if we weren't going to be able to do it right.
Okay. Where is this? How many bugs? How many bugs does the unofficial patch fix? How many bugs does the hang on. Bugs list. Because they have a list. They had a list, these guys, with the list of bugs that the unofficial patch fixed, and it was insane. Let's continue watching it while I look it up.
Our partners at Virtuous went above and beyond to bring our vision to life. The care and love they've poured into the Oblivion Remaster has been absolutely breathtaking.
Welcome to Paris, and welcome to Virtuous. Our team here has been hard at work delivering the best remastered Oblivion experience possible.
I found it. Here is the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch version history, and here are the fixes. Here are the fixes that they did. Many of these are going to be minor bugs. Some of these are going to be major issues with the game. Look at this. You see how little the scroll bar is moving? This is how many bugs, glitches, issues. Some of these are blue screen of death. Some of these are minor things that your computer is not going to notice, but it's going to affect performance ever so slightly. Look at this. Look at this. I am possibly one of the only people to have finished Skyrim Pure Vanilla. I did as well. Because I played it on the PS3 originally. But look at this. Look at this. Look at how little the scroll bar moved. And these are all unique, different bugs that the unofficial patch has fixed. This is how much slop Bethesda left in Skyrim, and this is for the special edition. This is the, I think, like 7 years after the game was released. This is a mod. This is not done by Bethesda. This is a mod of players who found these errors and decided to get together and fix them because Bethesda couldn't bother to do it. Skyrim bugs can be very funny. Yes, they can be. Many of these are broken nav mesh links in a cell, bad nav mesh setup in Whitewater Imperial camp cells. So these are more fundamental issues. This is the unofficial patch because Bethesda never bothered to do this. And the worst thing is, this is a special edition. When they re-released Skyrim from 32-bit to 64-bit so that they could have it on PS4, then PS5, and it had the same bugs as the previous one. We have so many bugs here. And I think it might say, I don't think they have an official tally of how many bugs, but look at this. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going. So do not tell me, Bethesda, that you have a rule that you're gonna do it right, because you evidently have not. They're trying to fluff up their partner, though, so let's see.
Possible. We've worked with Bethesda
Remember
Game
playing
Studios
Oblivion,
and other
left sewer,
projects in
ran
the
over the hill,
past,
turned around, was
so we
blown
know
away
what
by the
makes
view of the
that
city's
team
sun.
and their
Looking back,
games
it's so dated, I'll
special.
never forget that moment. Yeah, and I think that's what they're banking on, for you to remember those moments. Because I'm not going to deny the impact this
had. We
had.
wanted to make the remaster more friendly to gamers with modern hardware. This is Oblivion in its most complete form.
Okay, modern hardware, what does that mean? That's the first time I've ever seen somebody sell with that.
About time someone got here.
Okay, this looks okay. It's Unreal Engine 5, I think, so. Alright.
Those familiar with only some
this looks
Elder
good.
Scrolls lore will now be able to experience the events that set the stage for Skyrim. You embark on an epic journey to stop the Mythic Dawn cult.
Hang on, I want to see this again.
Lore will now be able
wanna
to
see the camera
experience
moving
the
down.
events that set the stage for Skyrim.
You know how usually there will be a little bit of motion when you're moving around? Like if you move the camera around, there's always like a little, you can see like a little bit of the pulse of the hands. Like there's going to be ever so slightly a little bit of movement. There wasn't any.
Now be able
on
to
the hand over
experience
here.
the events that set
Oh, you can't
the
see it. I'm
stage
covering
for
it.
Skyrim.
Fuck. Okay, never mind.
You embark on an epic
covering
journey
it.
to stop the Mythic Dawn cult.
The time of cleansing draws nigh.
From unleashing
Glad to see the
Daedric
models still
Prince
look
of
just as
Destruction.
bad.
What was the Oblivion crisis? What happened to the previous Emperor of Cyrodiil?
Maybe they just
Why are
kept
there only
the
8
elves
divines
looking
instead of
ugly.
9?
I'm behind that. Camera.
In addition to the
my
core
auto,
game, the
0, there we
remaster
go.
contains all add-ons, including story expansions, Shivering Isles, and Knights of the Nine, so you get the full experience.
And horse armor. And horse armor. Don't forget the
On a
horse
personal
armor.
level, it was
Will I
really
be playing
important
this?
to
I don't
me
know.
to ensure that we're preserving the magic of the original experience.
I don't know yet. We'll see.
At the end of the day, we're all fans too.
This is a dream project for me, right? I mean, I'm a fan.
Virtuous.
I have been always a fan.
Well, I played Oblivion for perhaps 10,000 hours.
Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls game, and it was one of the games that made me want to be a game developer.
The best way to describe it would be to call it a love letter.
Okay. I just want to look into the developer. Okay, so number one, the game is already out and it's €55. 65 if you get the deluxe, which I think gets the deluxe upgrade, which comes with, I don't know what this comes with, so I'm just gonna ignore this. It's, yeah, 65 with the deluxe. Didn't it? Oh, yeah, the deluxe comes with the story expansions. So they're still charging you for the DLC. Okay, whatever. Not yet. We have plenty of games to play first. But I just pulled up the Virtuous Game Studio, which is the studio. It's written there. I can't read. I can't read. Let's see. Where does it say this? Upgrade to receive the new quest for digital Akatosh. Digital art book. Base game required. Modernizes. Because they said that it includes everything. I think this is just extra new content. Because if they are charging you $10 for DLC in the main page, I don't. Maybe they brought Patrick Stewart back. Okay, so here's the game developer that they brought in the drop-down menu. What, bro? What? Oh. Digital Deluxe content. Armor of Order, Weapons of Order, Weapons of Cataclysm, Access of Art Books, new quests for unique Akatosh and Dragon Armors, Weapons and Horse Armors. No way. No way. No way. No way they're still selling you. They still have the balls to charge you extra for the horse armor. It's been 20 years, dude. So digital base game included in the remaster includes Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine digital story expansions, a digital download comment, the deluxe edition. Yeah. Digital Deluxe comes with the whole DLC. You have to pay extra for the DLC after 20 years. All right, let's go back to the developer. What other games have they done? They have 4,200 employees, 900 plus clients, 21 years, 1,500 plus titles. Okay. So they have a few studios, mainly in China, which is surprising because this wasn't outsourced to an Indian developer, so a thing. Okay, so these guys have worked on Jedi Fallen Order, Outer Worlds, Devil May Cry 5, Dark Souls Remastered. Okay, so these guys have a portfolio, it would seem, and they have been working on quite a few remasters: Final Fantasy 12, Fortnite, PUBG. So it seems these guys have been involved in quite a few. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, horse armor is where microtransactions came from. Ground zero for all that. Yep. And they are back in the deluxe edition. You still have to pay extra for this. So not only are they bringing back Oblivion, sorry, after 20 years, they're still charging you extra for the DLC. Let's continue watching.
But there will be blood and death before the end.
Okay. Don't have to. I won't be. Neither will I. After seeing that, I'm not either. Not unless somebody gave some. Classic AAA company, yeah. Like, this looks okay.
The technology
looks
we
good.
used to create the original was cutting edge at the time, but tools have come a long way since then.
Yes, and you reused the same engine for 20 years! No wonder. And
The
from, I
original
think that
Oblivion
Slayer
is
said,
still the heart and soul of the remaster, but we use Unreal Engine 5 to help achieve all our visual goals. We think of the Oblivion game engine as the brain and Unreal 5 as the body.
No. I did not want that in Slayer to be right. $5 says that the old dub glitch still works. Hang on.
We think of the Oblivion game engine as the brain and Unreal 5 as the body.
So you're running two game engines at the same time. So you put the creation engine, and you took the creation engine and you swept it under the rug of Unreal Engine? Am I getting this wrong? So they're still using the creation engine and they're just using the Unreal to render? I can see how that could work. I could see how they could make that work. Won't that be very taxing on the computer? Like, it's already taxing enough for one engine. Let's see.
The brain drives all the world logic and gameplay, and the body brings to life the experience that players have loved for almost 20
Only the
years.
visuals, yeah, it seems like,
But
but that's still
it's not just
taxing.
about pure fidelity. We knew we had to preserve the distinct style, making it as uniquely Oblivion as possible.
Yeah, fair.
The brush opens
Yeah,
a
that's
portal
okay.
into the painting. You're stuck here like I am.
Nice.
The Isles, a wonderful place. Good for a visit. Or eternity.
Well, he looks
We've
stupid.
leveraged nearly every major feature from the latest version of Unreal 5.
Our goal was to push the visuals to the next level using the latest technologies. We created brand new, highly detailed character models and stunning landscapes that use millions of polygons in each asset, allowing us to...
Why are you telling me you're using a number of polygons? Why do I care about the number of polygons? This is not something you're telling me, that's something you're telling the modders.
Truly impressive level of detail in the world. Every single asset in this game was completely redesigned and handcrafted from scratch.
Was it though?
We implemented an advanced real-time lighting system that accurately simulates how light interacts with the environment. This results in more realistic lighting and atmospheric effects.
Yeah, that's
While the original game had limited dynamic shadows, now the entire world reacts naturally to
that's
light.
built in when Unreal. That's a good thing to have, but it's kind of
new
built in.
lip-sync technology that really enhanced performance in our characters.
He left us a warning.
I think that's also an Unreal Engine kind of default thing
helped us create the
that
base
they're
mesh of our
exploiting, which is good.
characters. From there, our artists sculpt each race individually to adapt it to the mesh,
It'll still
allowing
look
us to share the
stupid.
model, rig, and textures. As
Yeah,
a
it looks
result,
good. It
all
looks good.
races, including Argonians, Orcs, and Khajiits, are built on the same base mesh, making the lip-sync system more effective even when the characters have very different facial features.
Welcome to the guild.
We have access to so many modern
pulling
rendering
it off
features.
seems like a very
You'll see them
good
in
thing to
something
have,
as
but kind of
simple
bare
as
minimum.
running through a forest, insects
I don't like
flying
that animation.
around, fish swimming in the water, light filtering through the leaves. Thanks to these technological advances, you feel even more immersed in this living, breathing world. You'll
It's
really
nice,
believe you're in Cyrodiil.
I believe you can handle a more complicated assignment. I would like you to retrieve a carved panel from the central chamber of the High Thane.
Hang on.
High Thane.
Bruh. Was it this, like, wonky in the original? Because I never played the original. Was it that wonky? Because I don't remember it being that wonky in Skyrim. I don't remember it being that wonky in Skyrim. Like, that just looks silly. Nice. So that we don't have to see the death animation.
That we've modernized in the remaster. It's gameplay.
Okay.
It's
The arrow
UI
disappeared.
and UX.
Okay.
It's audio.
Good. Good audio is a good
We've
thing to have.
updated features and systems across the board.
We've changed the approach to leveling, which I think will make a lot of people
Weird
happy.
Metalhead, welcome to today.
It's inspired
I'm
by
doing
the
alright. How
leveling
are you?
systems of both Oblivion and Skyrim, so it's the best
Okay.
of both worlds.
Well, good. Watching the Oblivion reveal.
We were able to fully recreate the character models.
We're gonna replay that. I want to see that in very slow motion. Wow. Let's mute it while we look at this. Bethesda. Okay. We got the Elemental. Very nice. Very cool. We got this thing. And Brother. You want to charge me $55 plus 10 more for the DLCs? And Skyrim plays better than that. This is the footage that they're highlighting. This is the good stuff of the game.
We were
Okay.
able to fully recreate the character models, creating a physicality that feels more human.
I'm gonna refill my water bottle.
You see that in places like combat animations, where
It
there's a
looks
lot more
janky as
separation
fuck.
between the upper and lower body, and all the
Okay.
animations have more flourish.
66.99
Combat in
Canadian.
the original Oblivion
Jesus.
didn't
Or
have
C
sound
and D.
effects, visual
That's,
effects, or hit reactions.
Is that Canadian?
Now you'll get blood splatters.
Oh,
sparks,
now we have
and
blood
controller
splatters.
feedback. You know, it's a little thing.
And controller feedback. Why are you trying to sell me the most basic features that we've had in gaming over the past 8 years, as if these are some sort of revolutionary new concepts that you just invented. You didn't come up with these things. These are things that are built into the Unreal Engine 5 that you are just covering on top of the creation engine, because you are Bethesda. You still can't let go of that creation engine, and you won't make the creation engine 2 because God forbid you have to do some work to make money. Instead, you went ahead and went to a studio with a pretty good rap sheet, it would seem, that is good at working and getting outsourced these things, just to come back and spend the first, how long has this been? We've been like 20-something minutes trying to sell me on the most basic features that Unreal Engine revealed in their Unreal Engine 5 tech demos. Why are you trying to pass off this kind of thing as if you made it? And if this is what you're bringing first, what else could you possibly have? Let's continue.
But little things add up to make the combat more modern and engaging.
It does not look modern, it looks dated. It looks slightly better and worse than Skyrim.
The original had third person, but there was no crosshair, and we felt the experience could be modernized.
One thing to note. I understand that they are comparing this to Oblivion, to the old Oblivion. People are not going to compare this to Oblivion. People are going to compare this to Skyrim and to Starfield and to Fallout. Because those are the games that have been made since. Yep.
One of our goals was to have a third-person
that horse does
view
not have
that
armor
compared to Starfield in terms of playability. Now, the third-person perspective has all the same control you get from the first-person view.
Okay.
You have my ear, citizen.
When
I
Oblivion
could almost
first
understand
launched,
everything.
Greetings. How goes it? How are you?
Disk storage limits meant we couldn't have unique voiceovers for all the races. So we've gone back and recorded new lines of dialogue.
Okay, how many?
Each race represented in the game now sounds unique.
Okay, that's good. Good for them. Being a video
We also
comparison.
made sure to keep
there
in
would be
all of
Oblivion.
the quirkier dialogue.
I really like the way they say hello. Sometimes it's so random, and then they just, hi there.
Hi there.
But it's like so nice and creepy at the same time.
Stop! You violated the law.
Stop! You violated the law.
Stop, criminal scum.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
And the camera is still just as janky, it would seem. Opinion on Naughty Dog, The Last of Us Remaster, even though they remake Last of Us 1 and 2 for the PS5. They're calling it a remaster so that they can release it on PC and Xbox. Because if they just call it the same version as the previous one, it doesn't sell as well. So, makes sense. Yeah. And yeah, there will be comparisons to Oblivion. There will be comparisons to the inevitable release of Skyblivion. I am appalled at how this looks. Let's just continue. I don't know if this is going to get any better, so let's continue.
Cheese for everyone.
Cheese for everyone.
It is cool that they went and re-recorded all the lines,
but one of the Elder Scrolls from the Imperial Palace. You need to find the reading room.
Okay.
The blind priests will deliver a scroll to you there. Do not speak to the priests. They're blindfolded. I've chosen you because you are the best. Good luck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm blocking the right hand animation. It looks super janky.
Stop! You violated the law. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood.
Okay, so they're going on about dialogue and how it looks a lot better now, and... Okay.
As games have developed over the past 20 years, players have come to expect a certain suite of tools and controls.
Which you are not delivering on. You are telling me that you are, but these are basic features from Unreal Engine 5 that it seems you have managed to both implement somewhat okay and not at the same time. This should be a $30 side project at best. I would say so, yeah. This has yet to justify the near AAA full price tag that it has.
Like sprinting. Sprinting is an interesting one because there was such a big debate internally among our teams. Some of us were absolute purists, but ultimately, We decided it's 2025, and people are going to want to sprint.
You couldn't sprint in the original?
All of the character locomotion has been completely redone from scratch, and that has a huge impact from the very beginning of the game.
Every single
so this is the
updated
redone
new
version,
feature
okay.
was implemented with the player in mind. It all comes down to what makes Oblivion, Oblivion.
I am going to go out on a limb, and I keep pausing, I am not apologizing. They did not make this with players in mind. Bethesda does not make video games with players in mind. Bethesda makes video games with modders in mind so that the modders can go ahead and make the games good for them. That's what happened with Skyrim. That's why they re-released Skyrim over and over again for well over 10 years. That's what happened with Fallout. That is what has happened, that they tried to make happen with Starfield, and this is what is going to keep happening. They are not making this game for the player because they can't. So it looks very
What
janky,
are those features that just immediately come to mind for players when they think of the game?
The mini-games are the mini-games. Those are so iconic to Oblivion.
Okay.
How's it go again?
Cool that
Like
you kept the
lockpicking.
original, I guess.
You can put a fresh coat of paint on it, but you can't change it too much because it's part of the core experience.
So
Whether
they're
you're
just saying
returning to
that they're not gonna
Cyrodiil or
bother
you're a
with that. Okay.
newcomer,
I'm going to follow you and watch you and
That's from the
worship
original, I
the
think.
ground you walk on.
you will instantly feel at home. It just
Am
feels
I?
better. We've modernized a lot, but it's still the same incredible adventure and the same carefully handcrafted world.
And apparently the same janky engine.
Do you know how long we've been waiting?
You know how at the start they had the label of this is the footage from the original, this is the footage from the remaster? And I joked about thank you for labeling it, I wouldn't have been able to tell otherwise. With these, with some of these I would actually need the label because some of these are difficult to tell. Looks the same to me. Like some of the
Oblivion
Unreal
is a
stuff
core
looks
part
good,
of
but
the story of Bethesda Game Studios. None of what we're surrounded by right now would
Starfield.
be here if we hadn't made that game and if it hadn't been the success that it was.
Yeah, that is true.
The effort that we put into it, the sort of the love that went into it, I think that comes across on the screen.
To have worked on something that people care enough where you're in a position where you can remaster it, it's a privilege.
And now, to help introduce this game to a new generation of players, I feel so lucky.
I really think the
Good
people,
for
when
them,
they jump back
but-
into the remaster, they're going to be shocked at just how good the game looks.
yes, the game looks good. It's an Unreal
The
Engine.
games look absolutely incredible, and I think
Yeah.
they're just going to find themselves lost in the world.
Like,
even if it's just
these are selling points from the PlayStation 4 era. All of these things that they're talking about were things that developers were hyping up when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One launched 12 years ago. Was it 12 years ago? Something like 10, 12 years ago. And many people no longer care about graphical fidelity. Yes, this looks nice. This is going to run at like 7 frames per second because of the fact that you put 2 game engines on top of each other. Like 2 fucking, 2 raccoons wearing a trench coat trying to pretend they're a person. And on top of this, you're selling me these things that might have hyped me up when I was going fresh into college, didn't know any better, and I thought the PlayStation 4 was the best thing ever. These selling, who are they selling this to? So how can they call it a remaster? It's made by the engine. It's Unreal Engine on top of the Creation Engine. So I don't know. YouTube will judge this, and we will see what happens. I guess.
the music,
yeah.
for example, just walking around for half
Gamers
an
will
hour
judge
in the
it, yeah.
world, you feel something.
Yeah, I don't know
And
for how many people I
that's
speak for.
precious.
I speak for myself.
You're going
that's
back to a
that's
world
how I
that
see
you've
it.
been to before, but it's better somehow. Like, it's an intangible thing, but it's like, it's new, it's fun, like it's exciting again.
You are the
But it's ultimately
developer.
the same game. There was a lot of respect for what was before, and I think the fans will appreciate that.
You are the developer. You should know what the tangible differences are between the game you made now and the game you made 20 years ago. You of all people should tell me. If you were like in the marketing or something and you just don't want to let go of some of these secrets, I understand. But you're the dev team giving these like this documentary thing, which, yeah, very well produced, very nice. Some of these things look very nice and everything. But don't come to me and try to sell me a game and that's just, there's something about it. It's intangible. It's an emotional argument for somebody who doesn't have an emotional attachment to this. They said that they're trying to sell this to a generation of people that never played Oblivion, but they are trying to appeal to a sense of nostalgia that I don't have. And many people either don't have either, or from what I think, many people have but have lost faith in Bethesda. This is not worth $65. What is the different creator difference creation or Unreal Engine? So the creation engine is the original engine for Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. Yes, all the versions of Skyrim, all 10 versions of Skyrim run on the creation engine, and the Unreal Engine, they are using it. So it seems like the creation engine does the calculations, and the Unreal Engine does the rendering. I think, from what they said. So, oh shit, where they feed everything into AI and they didn't actually do anything themselves? I highly doubt an AI would make something this mediocre that looks this coherent.
From all of us at Bethesda Game Studios
and Virtuous,
we want to thank you for joining us today. Oblivion has a very special place in my heart, and being able to work on this remaster and bring it to a new generation of players has been an incredible experience.
There's a lot of
We were
video
too
left.
excited to get it in your hands and didn't want to just show it off to you and then make you have to wait. The best part of my job is that I get to be the one to announce that the Oblivion remaster will be available today.
I can understand you taking the advantage of some sort of sudden hype, considering the recent failures from Bethesda, such as Starfield, such as Fallout 76. I consider Fallout 76 a failure. This comes across as desperate to me. They want a quick buck. The how long you been Oblivion for? I don't know. I've never played it, so. All right, let's see what else. Like, this looks great, but this is what we've come to expect from Unreal Engine.
7 years ago. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler.
Yeah, this
of
looks
my own
great.
regions.
I'm not sold on visuals alone anymore. I've been burned too many times.
27th of last seed.
Like, this
The year
looks
of Akatosh 433.
around as good as Throne and Liberty.
These are the closing days.
Which Throne and
of the
Liberty looks
Third
great.
Era,
But
and the
yeah.
final hours.
Wait, one engine does Throne and Liberty use?
I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see.
Wait, Throne and Liberty uses Unreal Engine 4. This one uses Unreal Engine 5. And they both look around the same amount of good. That says more about this game than it does about... Fuck!
This is only the beginning. Worse.
Yeah,
is yet to
these look
come.
cool, but...
Looks clear.
Oh, God. You can tell this is pre-rendered because the animations actually flow.
Time of cleansing draws nigh.
Jeppy, welcome to today. How you doing?
From the coming darkness.
Welcome to the Oblivion reveal? Remaster reveal? Look at this! It looks like Skyrim. It looks like you're playing, like, no, I'm not talking about the visuals. I'm talking about the gameplay. It looks like it looks like it plays just like Skyrim. And somehow looks a little bit worse. Roast, Oblivion, roast. Yeah. Yeah, I am not holding back, because looks great. The visuals look incredible. It will play like an almost 20-year-old game, graphics that look like a 5-year-old game. Jeppy, do you know what the engine they revealed is for this game? Because your estimation, your claim there is way too optimistic. This game... No, Jeppy. It's Creation Engine plus Unreal Engine 5. Both running at the same time. You heard me right. They said it. They have, my understanding is that the Creation Engine runs the calculations. So the Creation Engine burns your CPU and the Unreal Engine renders. Yep. Like you said, yeah, it's Unreal Engine. I mean, you said Unreal Engine 5, but yeah, like you said, it will play like an almost 20-year-old game with graphics that will look like a 5-year-old game. Yes. As I said, Throne and Liberty looks around just as good as this, and Throne and Liberty uses Unreal Engine 4. So I didn't let myself get hyped for this, so I'm ready. So I'm ready for the letdown. I am very unimpressed. Yeah, like the graphics look nice, but yeah, the Creation Engine is gonna burn your CPU while the Unreal Engine is gonna burn your GPU. So. Where's your birthday song? Right, it's your birthday. Let's finish this and I'll sing you happy birthday. It's your birthday today, then. Happy birthday, Jeppy. Cheers to you. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion available today, and they are still charging you extra for the DLC and the horse armor. They're still charging extra for the horse armor. Stay tuned for a special gameplay stream. Is this...
Wow. What did we...
Okay, you know what? We're gonna pause this. We're gonna watch this after this. There you go. There you go. That was the Oblivion remaster reveal. I am appalled. I thought there was gonna be more. I saw that, you know, we weren't even halfway through the video. And I thought, fucking, you were gonna give me, like, more to chew through. But no, you spent the first 25 minutes of your, what, 40, like, half-hour long thing telling me about extremely basic features that we have come to expect from Unreal Engine 5, to then show me a game that looks as janky as Skyrim, looks around as nice as Throne and Liberty, which I'll give it to them, it looks nice. And then it turns out you have to pay for the DLC still. The DLC comes separately with the deluxe edition. It's been 20 years and you're still going to charge me for the horse armor! I didn't get the first one though. So, fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. There you have it. I'm not hyped at all. I am not interested. This is about as much hype as I have for the Switch too. A shameless cash grab. I don't think it's rushed. This doesn't look rushed, but I have no faith that you would have made a game that will stand on its own. You have made yet another platform for modders to fuck around with, but this time you made it on Unreal Engine, which is probably going to have less bugs. But I fully expect the unofficial patch to have just about as many issues that Bethesda is not going to bother fixing. And there you have it. All right. Hang on, let me see. The truth is that they sold Skyrim way too many times and realized they have to resell Oblivion a couple of times too. Yeah, we mentioned that. Because I bought Skyrim like 5 times. I loved that game until I came to the realization that Bethesda does not make good games. They make decent modding platforms, and they expect the players to then pay them and then make the games good for them. And that's what they come to expect. And that's why we saw Starfield fail so badly. And that's why we saw Fallout 76 fail so badly. For different reasons. Fallout because you couldn't mod Fallout. And Starfield because no one cared. The game was so boring. Well, I think it was the unofficial patch. People gave up on Starfield because they were just so bored with the game that they decided to stop bothering with it. So yeah, have you seen the meme about how many Elden Ring games came out under each pope? There were 3 under John Paul II, 2 under Benedict, and 0 under Francis. Elder Scrolls. Okay, Elder Scrolls on Elden Ring. There you go. Yeah, shit, dude. So Benedict really had a blessed time in our lives. So when are we gonna move to the reacts? In a moment. We're gonna finish this soon. The Oblivion remake is exactly what it should be. The price tag is just off by like 50 or 60%. I'll wait for a Steam sale. I'm not gonna bother with this. I'm gonna wait for this game to be like $5. Maybe then I might bother. Mostly for once the mods that fix the game for Bethesda come out, if they come out. I never bought Skyrim. I played it a couple times without paying for it, and do not regret not supporting it. I used to love it. Especially with the mods and everything, I was so hyped for it. I have the anthology, which was like the box with the physical versions of Elder Scrolls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the Skyrim Legendary Edition before they moved to Special Edition. I used to love Skyrim. I modded that game so much. I sat down with Dead End Slayer so many times, and we modded this game so many times. He taught me how to mod over and over again, and I had so much fun until I came to the realization that that's what Bethesda wants. They want you to have fun with the mods so that they can keep charging you for the platform so that other people can make the game good for them. So, if it was $15, I might have considered buying it, but for 60, no fucking way. Yeah, like, I'll wait for this to come out, to be on sale for like $5-10 on like one of the summer sales in a few years. Like the deluxe edition for like $5-10, or I will wait for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster Special Edition Ultimate Edition, which is gonna be like $20 on sale. Then I might consider getting it. But in general, it looks nice. But then again, all of your selling points that you were hyping up so much were selling points that would have hyped up a crowd when the PlayStation 4 was coming out, when people really cared about graphics and graphical fidelity. Right now, we have moved past that. So, imagine putting RTX on Skyrim. We had that. Before RTX existed, that was a thing. It was called an ENB. Everybody needs Boris, and because Boris made a lighting engine, and it looked beautiful. It used to look incredible. Skyrim, like modded Skyrim, used to look before RTX. This is basically modded Skyrim. Yeah, and Skyblivion is gonna come out, and I can bet you an entire Hungarian forint that the Skyblivion mod is going to blow out of the water this remaster. And nothing against the second studio, which fuck you, Bethesda, for saying that you were the only people working on this, because you did have the other studio on it and you didn't bother tagging them in the thing, which I think the studio doing this, their job is to port things over to Unreal Engine or to do final touches. The fact that you didn't bother putting them in the developer tag, fuck you, because Bethesda absolutely did not do the brunt of this work. It was the other studio that I already forgot their name, but yeah. Skyrim was the shit when it came out, on the game I understood in line for. Yeah, same here. I didn't stand in line on it. I saw it on the store and I bought it and I loved it. Fucked from work at launch. Nice. Sorry, Hungarian forint. That the Hungarian forint is the currency of Hungary, and which is worth about 0.0028. Oh shit! It went up in shit. It's going, but I digress. It's about 1/3 of a cent of a dollar. 1 Hungarian forint. That's how much I'm willing to bet. Was Portal made in Unreal Engine? No, Portal was made in the what's the name of the CS engine? The Counter-Strike engine. But yeah, there you go. That's this. I don't think I'm gonna bother with whatever the fuck this other part is. So let's just let's just move on to something good, okay? Let's just move on to something good.